All right. Well, welcome to Poly Role Models. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ignacio Rivera, and some people know me as Poppy Cox.
Okay, okay. Let's jump right into this. How long have you been polyamorous, or how long have you been practicing polyamory?
I've been practicing polyamory for about 20 years now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Um, what does your current relationship dynamic look like?
So currently, I have a boyfriend who we've been together for about, I want to say 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. I have a person, someone I call my person.
Okay,
I've been with her for almost 14 years. I have a DS dynamic, two DS dynamics, dominant submissive dynamics, where I have a girl, and it's going on over a little over 2 years now, and a boy that's been with me for about 7 years.
okay. Wow, all right. So what aspects of polyamory do you feel like you excel at?
I would say the communication. I'm good at maintaining and keeping all the things good.
Fair.
um, yeah, I think in all of my relationships, I've been doing poly like the longest. And so I'm kind of more laid back. I think I did a lot of my mistakes and stuff earlier on. I mean, not that I'm not human and I still make mistakes, but
Fair.
the bigger ones, after 20 years, you kind of got the hang of, the best way to communicate, the best way to stay connected with your metamours. Like, so I've learned, and so I think I'm good at that. I'm good at
Okay.
keeping the peace.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. So what aspects of polyamory do you feel like you struggle with?
What I struggle with, hmm, I don't want to sound like a goody two shoes, but I don't struggle very much with polyamory. It makes sense to me. It feels right. Um, yeah, I don't really struggle with it.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Which knocks out my fifth question, which is how do you address those struggles? I guess just by living.
Yeah, I mean, if there are individual problems that come up, of course, but for me, it's always it sounds simple, but it's really communication, communication, communication. I'm
Fair.
always communicating with my people um, with an open heart, and just with best intentions. I try my hardest to do that, and I think it works. I think it works because we're honest with one another. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's all you can really ask for.
yeah.
All right. So in terms of risk aware or safer sex, what do you and your partners do to protect one another?
We talk about it. So we are of the camp that things shift constantly. So we always check in. We don't make any assumptions. So usually, if there's a new person, but right now been consistent with the folks that I've been with. We get tested regularly. We talk about those test results. We don't do like veto power over new people or anything like that. We just ask to communicate until to let us know, to let me know, I let people know. So it's all about communication because things shift.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hmm.
What is the worst mistake you've ever made in your polyamorous history? And how do you rebound from that?
Mm. I say when I saw that question, I was like, worst. I don't know if it's the worst. I know I've made several mistakes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One of which was um, never to negotiate while under the influence. So this month will be 6 years that I've been sober,
Okay.
and so alcohol and cocaine were an issue at one point, and did not allow me to be my full self,
Yeah.
to be and communicate properly. So once I gave that up, I think my polyamory, my communication, everything, just was on a different level. So I think that was a very a life lesson, a big life lesson for me.
Okay.
So never under the influence, um, and let's see what else. Honesty. You know, just because you don't lie doesn't mean that you cannot not be honest, right? So I learned that.
Yeah.
So making sure that when I'm saying something and when I'm talking to somebody, I'm really giving my true feelings behind it. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't manipulate it. So I think manipulation was something I was good at, and so I learned that not a good thing.
Fair. All right. So what self-identities are important to you, and how do you feel like they intersect or impact your polyamory?
What identities you said?
Yeah.
Uh, um, I guess all of my identities really do impact. So as a person of color, I intentionally and love to be with other people of color. I'm queer, so that definitely affects who I'm with or who sees me in a particular way. I'm also trans and gender fluid, so that would mean that whoever's with me has to understand that my gender, just flows like water. And if they don't understand that, then we're probably not a good match. Um, and Us being a switch is really important, right? Because I like to and polyamory affords us not to have to find everything in one person, but it's really nice when people can see you for your full self. And Being sober is really important when I choose a partner. People who don't drink too much, maybe other people who are sober as well,
Yeah.
and and that I'm a survivor. That's also really important in how I negotiate my relationships with people. So those identities are truly important to me and really a huge part of how I navigate relationships.
Awesome. Awesome. Great answers, by the way. So do you have any groups, projects, websites, blogs, etc., just stuff that you're involved with that you'd like to promote?
Mm-hmm. I'm involved with a lot of stuff. I am the founder and director of the Heal Project, and the Heal Project is a project that its platform is that comprehensive sex education or holistic sex education is a tool to preventing child sexual abuse. I also blog sporadically on What They Said blog that can be found on my website, igrivera.com. And I'm a performance artist as well, so I travel around performing and doing lectures and talks on gender, LGBT issues, race and class issues as it pertains to mostly sexual liberation.
Awesome, awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time. I really appreciate the value of your words, and people are going to get a lot out of it. Thanks for
Thank
being a part
you.
of Poly Role Models.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.